सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. We have completed the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. Now we are entering into the 12th chapter called Bhakti Yoga. Before going to the first shloka, just I will give a brief introduction to this chapter. This chapter is the essence of entire Bhagavad Gita and entire Upanishadic teaching. It's a very, very important chapter which consists the whole Vedantic teaching in nutshell. Very simple, very small chapter with 20 shlokas. But it has got a very in-depth meaning. Every human being loves to attain happiness, peace, security. This is the ultimate aim of every human being without exception. I want to be happy, comfortable, peaceful. For that sake, what I have to do, I know that first of all I need money. My destination, my goal is Ananda. What do you want now? I want Ananda. I want peace. I want security. PHS. For that sake, person want to earn money, and that PHS is an end or a goal, is a destination. What ultimately I want is Ananda. That Ananda, which is my destination, is a goal, is called Sadhyam. It is called, in Sanskrit, philosophical term is Sadhyam. That which you acquire, accomplish finally is called Sadhyam. To acquire that Sadhyam, there is a means. Just as to reach the school, this is a destination, it is a Sadhyam. You can come by car, you can come by auto, you can come by two-wheeler, not by flight. Okay. You can come by any means, that is called means. To reach a destination, what I use is a means called sadhanam. These two terms are very important, we have to note. A means is that which helps me to reach my destination. Sadhanam helps me to reach my sadhyam. It's clear. Sadhanam, sadhyam. Next point to be noted is the love for sadhyam. Sadhyam, the destination, peace, happiness, ananda. The love for sadhyam is transferred to that means. Love for means. That means money. I want money. I love money. The love that which I have upon my end or sadhyam slowly transform to what? On the means. I love my car, for example. I love my car. Not for car's sake. That car helps me to reach a destination. So and so place I want to go, that is my destination. Since the car is the means, therefore, the love for a destination will be transferred to that car. I love my car. If it troubles, I don't love my car. It's a means. So, by this, what corollary we get? The love for end is transferred to the means. That means what? The love for means is not for means' sake. The love for means is not for means' sake, but for end sake. The love for means, car I love, not for car's sake, but I love to reach my destination. Typical example, when you enter the train, you love train until you reach the destination. After reaching the destination, you have no connection with that train at all. Why I said typical example, when you sit in the train, you have to travel 24 hours, for example. For that 24 hours, before that one cleaner comes. You pay money to him, you ask him to clean the whole thing where you are sitting, that place. He knows that you have to travel 24 hours. After 1 hour, 2 hours, he comes. Before you are reaching the destination, he comes. That time, how much clean you keep that whole thing area, wherever you are sitting, and that place you keep so neat and clean and all. Before 2-3 hours, you are getting up. You put papers, water bottles, empty bottles, you don't bother at all. That time the cleaner also won't come. Because we don't want, we are going to get down. The love, what you have developed attachment on the train, for that 24 hours, 22 hours, so much of attachment with that a temporary place you have occupied. But after reaching the destination, just you leave it now. You forget about it. The temporary love upon the means is not for means' sake, but for end sake. This is called sadhana sadhyam. Clear? Now comes the next point. Bhakti upon the Lord, I have a devotion. Bhakti means devotion. Devotion on my Ishta Devata. What for? I want good health. I want a nice house. I want a nice spouse, nice children. All nice I want. For that sake, God I use as a means. God, I use Him as a means. Oh God, please give me good health. Please give me good job. Please give me that job where I get more money. Now Bhagavan is what? Bhagavan is a means for what? To get materialistic pleasures. Bhagavan is a means to get materialistic pleasures and to get certain comforts in my life. I use Bhagavan as a means. That means, extrapolate now. The means that I love Bhagavan is not for Bhagavan's sake, but for what? For house sake, for children's sake, for wife's sake, for husband's sake, for my degree sake, for my job sake, for my money sake. That means this bhakti is called Manda Bhakti. There are 3 types of devotion. What chapter we are going to study? Bhakti Yoga. The love I have, the devotion I have upon the Lord, as a means, if I look at Bhagavan as sadhanam, parikaram, sadhanam enna artham? I use Bhagavan. Pen you are using, no? It is a sadhanam. Phone you are using, it is sadhanam. As long as that gadget is functioning properly, even that refill, as long as the refill is full, you love that pen. Once the refill is over, throw it. I love the means, not for means sake, for end sake. Extend this for a normal person's devotion. I love God not for God's sake. I love for my sake. This is also bhakti. What bhakti? Manda bhakti. 3 types of bhaktis. The inferior bhakti, manda bhakti. Then comes madhyama bhakti. In the manda bhakti, Bhagavan is a means. What I want to get, my end is a end, it's a destination, it's my goal. It is a sadhyam. Bhagavan is a sadhanam. In the madhyama bhakti, a person want to get things that is Bhagavan only. Bhagavan's sake he worships. Bhagavan is not a means. Bhagavan is end. And sadhanam is also Bhagavan. He used the Bhagavan as sadhanam. This is madhyama bhakti. You progress from love for means to love for end. Bhagavan only end, Bhagavan only the means is madhyama bhakti. So that means you realize that Bhagavan is the ultimate nityam. That Bhagavan to attain, what I use means Bhagavan only. So to attain that end, Bhagavan is my goal. I want to see God. I want to attain God. What is the means? Bhagavan only. So, sadhyamu Bhagavan, sadhanamu Bhagavan, end also Bhagavan, means also Bhagavan is called madhyama bhakti. Madhyama bhakti. Ide madhyama bhakti anna inka edi uttama bhakti anna. Namak doubt vandudu. So, in this, person love the goal, that is Bhagavan. Person love the Bhagavan as a means. Sadhanam Bhagavan, sadhyam Bhagavan. This is madhyama bhakti. In the manda bhakti is what? Bhagavan is means. My end is personal benefit. What about uttama bhakti? Uttama bhakti is that finally I know that Bhagavan is non-separate from me. How can I take him as a means? Bhagavan only sadhyam. Means is not Bhagavan. I myself, the seeker, is the sadhyam, non-separate from me. Sadhana sadhya veda rahitam. Bhagavan is not no more a means. Bhagavan is sadhyam, siddham. Bhagavan is not a sadhya vastu, it is siddha vastu, already accomplished Brahma Swarupam Bhagavan, who is non-different from me. This is a very, very higher step. It is called Uttama Bhakti. Superior most Bhakti. I don't look down upon God as a means. Now you know the difference between 3 bhaktis, devotions. First bhakti lo Bhagavan kevalam means da. No devotion at all on Bhagavan. In second bhakti lo Bhagavan is the end. Bhagavan is also means. Still means is continuing. Sadhanam. Bhagavan sadhanamada irukar. But end is, plus point is what? Bhagavan is the end. Whereas in Uttama Bhakti, Bhagavan is non-separate from me. Where is the question of reaching Bhagavan, destination? There is no long distance between Bhagavan and me at all. Really speaking, that Bhagavan's nature is my nature. This is Siddha Vastu Bhagavan. The one who accomplished that Bhagavan is available here and now as my true nature, Siddham, accomplished. It is not going to be accomplished. It is not far end. It is not a distant end to acquire. But here, now itself, I cannot be separated from Bhagavan. This is called Uttama Bhakti. Uttama Bhakti. So, person has to travel from Manda Bhakti to Madhyama Bhakti to Uttama Bhakti. So what? If I don't travel, what will happen? Let me stay in first Bhakti, Manda Bhakti itself. Bhagavan is a means for me. I can accomplish so many things, but Shastra says your PHS cannot be guaranteed. A warning. 99% of people, 99.999% of people are all in Manda Bhakti. They require a lot of time to get maturity. Gradually they have to elevate themselves, they have to promote themselves from Manda Bhakti to Madhyama Bhakti. Ripening, mind has to ripen. Antakaranam has to ripen. Knowledge is required for that. Another important point. Now this is clear. Manda Bhakti, Madhyama Bhakti, Uttama Bhakti. Uttama Bhakti is the highest Bhakti where you already recognize I am the source of peace, happiness, security. I need not work for peace, happiness, security. I need not ask that from the Lord. This is called knowledge. That is Uttama Bhakti. Having understood these three types of devotions, let us come to another important point. Anything you love, after knowing its value, only you love. Money you love. Baby do not know the value of the money. 500 rupee note you give, what baby does? But if anybody gives 500 rupee note to you, how carefully you keep. That you know the value of that money. Once you know the value of a thing, you love it more. Love is the criteria. Knowledge is the criterion for the love to develop upon that object. Okay, for a side point now, husband loves his wife. Okay, wife is a means because she provides a lot of comforts, make his life more comfortable, happy, peaceful. Therefore, husband loves his wife. Love for what? His comfort. What is the means? Wife is the means. So, wife he loves as a means for not wife's sake. This is the fact. Okay. கோபம் படக்கூடாதுங்க. இது உண்மை நான் சொல்றது. Okay, this is the fact, but you have to accept. Husband loves wife for not wife's sake. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Hey Maitreyi, Agnivalkya says, no husband loves his wife not for wife's sake, but for his sake. Atmanastu kamaya. What about wife? Wife also same. She loves her husband because he brings a lot of salary, he provides a lot of comforts, he is taking care of her, he is providing security, happiness, peace. So, of course, he is giving. Therefore, she loves him. He is the means. What is her end? Ananda. Therefore, love for means is not for means sake, love for end. I know the value. This is called knowledge. When I love the God, I love God. Why? I know, I have a knowledge that He gives so many things. That's why I love Him. Suppose He don't give, after worshipping long time, 1 decade, அவர்கிட்ட பார்த்துட்டு என்ன, what I have done, have you forgotten? Have you forgotten? Have not noted properly? என்ன transfer பண்ணணுமா உனக்கு? We transfer the Bhagavan. Central government job, they transfer the person, no? After 2-3 years, they transfer. They have to transfer. Like this, these bhaktas always transfer the Bhagavan. போயிட்டு வா, போதும் 10 வருஷம். இப்போ யாரோ இன்னொரு புதுசா வந்திருக்காங்க, very popular, everybody is going there, I am going to worship him because he is a means for. What I have value? I have value for materialistic pleasures. I have value for house. I have value for my son. I have value for my wife. I have value for my husband. I have value for my gadgets. Whatever I am having, this knowledge I have, I use the Bhagavan as a means. Now, by studying Shastra, I know the greatness of that Ishvara, the Ishvara Swarupam. I know the value of Bhagavan. I love Bhagavan. Why people are loving materialistic pleasures, materialistic comforts? Why people are loving other people, not Bhagavan? Because they value the worldly benefits. They do not know the value of Bhagavan. Why? Because lack of scriptural study. Not only that, they do not know that these are all anityam. What are all the goals they have? Putra, Patni, Pati, Putri, Griham, Car, Vahanams, so many things. They value it. They have that much knowledge alone. They are going to give PHS. But some mature people, Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmano nirveda mayad. An intelligent, mature person understand all these are temporary. There is no permanence in these comforts, happiness. I thought my son will give happiness. I thought my daughter will give PHS. I thought my house will give PHS. One student is telling, Swamini, we took a house in abroad. Now the whole house value rate gone down. We thought of selling that house and want to come to India. Why we want to come to India? Because our children are missing our culture. Not only that, we want to study Shastra. Our children are not able to play with other children because they don't allow to play with other children. My children are very much interested in playing with other children because they have to grow in a healthy way. Therefore, we want to come here. But now we are not able to come here. After buying that house, we are really stuck up. Because they have taken loan. But value has gone down. They cannot buy. Sell the house, they cannot come here. I thought if I have own house, I can manage. Now it's a problem. Now, see what gives happiness? There is no permanence in anything in the world. Anityam. Some people recognize, they know the value of Bhagavan, they understand, and therefore they love Bhagavan. Therefore Bhagavan is the end for them. Once they come to that bhakti, slowly they come to Bhagavan is non-separate from me. That Uttama bhakti is possible. Madhyama bhakti ki vanda, Uttama bhakti is possible. What about Manda bhakti? Manda bhakti na romba delay, passenger madri. Romba delay ஆயிடும். ஒரு நாளைக்கு வெறும் பக்தி இருக்கு இல்லையோ, வருவான். ஆனாலும் லைக் டாக்டாய்ஸ் மாதிரி. டாக்டாய்ஸ் வாக் எப்படி இருக்கும்? அப்படி இருக்கும் இவனோட பக்தி. So what? Adi varaku kashtam. He is having a lot of insecurity, struggle in life, lot of pain he has to undergo. Why that pain he has to undergo? Lack of knowledge. Because of ignorance. Your ignorance alone is the cause for your peace and happiness you are losing because of ignorance. Why can't you study, understand Ishvara Swarupam? That's why Bhagavan said in 11th chapter, Arjuna, worship me. Mat karma kritu, mat bhaktaha bhavad. May you become my devotee. Now these three bhaktis we have to divide into three sadhanas. Bhakti means it is not an action, isn't it? Bhakti is not an action. It is a bhavana. So that topic is over until now. What I have presented, sadhanam, sadhyam, all those points over. Uttama bhakti, madhyama bhakti, manda bhakti. Now let us come to this topic. What is bhakti? Now what is our journey? Manda bhakti to madhyama bhakti to uttama bhaktas we have to become. Then three bhaktas we are going to categorize. First we should know what is bhakti. Bhakti is not a practice to do any action, but it is an attitude. Bhavana, perception, cognition. Jnanam level lo cognition. Upasana level lo perception. Karma level lo attitude. Very nice, no? Jnana level lo cognition. Just understanding. Okay? Jnana level lo cognition. Upasana level of perception, seeing the entire universe as Vishwa Rupam, Bhagavan's Rupam, this is called perception. Serving to the whole humanity as Ishvara, Ishvara Atmana Buddhya, Karma Kuru, Prasada Buddhya, Phalam Swikuru is Karma Yoga, is attitude. Karma Drishtya, attitude, Upasana Drishtya, perception, Jnana Drishtya, cognition. This bhakti means bhavana. Your inner, what you can call, inner composure. How you feel. Bhaj sevayam anartham. Seva enna pandrathu? Seva pandratha poyi. Seva illa. Sevai vere, seva vere. Bhaj sevayam to serve God. How do you serve God? Different ways you can serve God. Attaining knowledge is also serving God. Thank God. Okay. Knowing the real nature of Ishvara Swarupam, 7th chapter, 9th chapter, Paraprakriti Jnanam, is real serve to the Lord. Knowing the nature of Ishvara is the real devotion. So therefore you see beautifully how Bhagavad Gita has really built up now. Karma Yoga, attitude, first part. First portion or first shatkam. Second shatkam, upasana. Eka Rupa Ishvara, Vishwarupa Ishvara, Eka Rupa Dhyanam, Vishwarupa Dhyanam. This is perception. Madhyama shatkam. 7th chapter to 12th chapter. Then 13th chapter to 18th chapter you take Jnana Yoga, cognition, that is called Jnanam. Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, Jnana Kanda. Veda, whole Veda is a bird eye view you can see in Bhagavad Gita. This is called, you can teach Bhagavad Gita months together, you can teach Bhagavad Gita within 10 minutes also. That is that efficiency of the teacher. You can teach Bhagavad Gita 6 years, 7 years also. You can teach Bhagavad Gita within 15 minutes, 10 minutes also. Whole thing over. Karma yoga, upasana yoga, jnana yoga. Karma yoga is manda bhakti. What? Opened eyes. Karma yoga means nothing but karma lakshana bhakti. So bhakti definition over. Bhakti means bhavana. What bhavana is there in manda bhakti? Bhagwan is a means. My end is different from Bhagavan. So this is the bhavana. That is called karma lakshana bhakti, manda bhakti. I serve Bhagavan, I do puja to Bhagavan, I go to temple and I do lot of rituals, I do vratams, I do upavasams, all are for what sake? For my sake. This is karma I am doing. Karma lakshana bhakti. Where the person opened his eyes and doing lot of rituals to the Lord with opened eyes. Okay. With opened eyes. Manava seva, Madhava seva. Serve to humanity, serve to God. Up to 85 years they serve to humanity only. Shastra says, how long you are going to serve? At the age of 85? At the age of 85 you are supposed to be a jnani. You have to finish karma yoga at the age of 30, 25 itself you have to complete. Serve the whole family. Serve your son, serve your daughter, serve your mother, serve your father, serve your grandparents. Karma yoga finish panni. Get chitta shuddhi. Say tata, bye-bye to karma lakshana bhakti, come to upasana. Vishwarupa, Ishvara, bhavana. Closed eyes. Upasana means what? Closed eyes, not opened eyes. Opened eyes puja is enough. That is extroverted. Now I have to become introverted. Because that I have finished. The benefit also I have acquired, refinement of the mind. My mind is so pure now. After doing lot of karma yoga. Some students like that only. And they used to have this habit of going to certain orphanages, serving the people, all these things and all. Class விட்டுட்டு கூட போயிடுவான். என்ன பண்றது? ஏன்னா அது ஒரு எடிக்ஷன். அது ஒரு எடிக்ஷன். அதனால எதுவுமே கூட ஒரு எடிக்ஷன் ஆகக்கூடாது. சாதனம் தான். That's why karma lakshana bhakti is a sadhana. Karma yoga is a sadhanam. Upasana yoga is a sadhanam. Jnana yoga is also a sadhanam. In the sadhana, one தாண்டி வரணும். Bhakti is not a sadhanam. புரிஞ்சுக்கணும் நம்ம. இப்ப பக்தி யோகா வேற, கர்ம யோகா வேற, ஞான யோகா வேற. Swamini, you keep your ஞான yoga for your sake. I am fit for bhakti yoga only. Therefore, நான் வாரம் அந்த டெம்பிள் கண்டிப்பா போயிட்டு தான் வரணும் சுவாமினி. அங்கே பிரதோஷம் நடக்கிறது, பூஜை நடக்கிறது, அபிஷேகம் நடக்கிறது, போய் தான் வரணும் அண்ணா. சரி போயிட்டு வாம்மா அண்ணா. ஸோ சுவாமினிஸ் இஸ் த ஞான யோகா. நம்மளது என்ன பக்தி யோகா. இன்னொருத்த சொல்லுவான், எனக்கு பக்தி இத்து டெம்பிள் பூஜா வேண்டவே வேண்டாம். என்ன பண்ணா, நாய் சர்வ் பூர் பீப்புள்னா பிளட் டொனேஷன் கேம்ப் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணுறது, அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணுறது, ஆர்ஃபனேஜுக்கு சர்வ் பண்ணுறது. என்னென்ன கர்மயோகி நான். I am karma yogi. How long? Up to 75. I am karma yogi. Enna karma yoga? Path is different. Some people go on going to temple again and again. They are bhakti yoga. Potome. Swami ennamo gnana yoga patti sollindirukkan. Annama path vere. What about another yoga? Upasana yoga. Some people sit continuously hours together in upasana. Adu upasana yoga. But இந்த மாதிரி 4 பாத்து வச்சுருக்காரு சில பேர். உனக்கு என்ன பார்த்து பிடிக்கும்னா ஏதோ ஒரு பார்த்து வச்சுக்கோன்னா. Bhagavan says nothing doing. There are no many paths. Bhakti is common in karma yoga. Bhakti is common in upasana. Bhakti is common in jnanam. Karma lakshana bhakti, manda bhakti. Upasana lakshana bhakti, madhyama bhakti. Karma Lakshana Bhakti with opened eyes. Upasana Lakshana Bhakti with closed eyes. Meditation, dhyanam, always japam, japam, japam. Number of times japa avritti. Upasana Lakshana Bhakti. I want to attain Bhagavan. I want to attain Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhagavan name I chant. What about this person, Gnana Yogi? Kannu modanama terakanama. Ekarupa. The Karma Lakshana Bhakti la eye is opened. Even when the eye is closed. Even if the half closed. பெரிய ப்ராப்ளமே வந்தாச்சு. என்ன ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. ஐஸ் ஓப்பன் கிடையாது, க்ளோஸ்டு கிடையாது. ஹிஸ் சாதனா இஸ் ஸ்ரவண மனன நிதித்தியாசனம். I rang up one student 2 days back. She is a very musician. She loves music. I thought she is looking at the TV Tiruvayur program and all. Are you seeing? I asked. No, Swamini, I am going to start Upanishad study. எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா போச்சு. அப்போ எவ்வளோ சின்சியர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்களே எனக்கு. Even though she is a musician, she loves music, she sings very well. But I thought she is seeing the Tiruvayur program. And it is surprise to me, she said, both wife and husband, they are starting studying Upanishad at that time. That means what? That real commitment, sincerity, over, those sadhanas over, there is no attachment with that. That music has to bring that maturity. Not singing lifelong. அப்படியெல்லாம் பாடிட்டு இருந்தான், இப்போ கூட பாடிட்டே இருக்கிறேன். That is not. Once I am a Vedantic student, I should know the priority. What is my priority in my life? அப்படின்னு சொல்லி we should not look down upon them. It is enough for me. It is enough for me. When at a young age I was playing veena, இப்போ வீணை வச்சு ப்ளே பண்ணணுமா என்ன? ஐயோ அபியாசம் என்ன போயிடும், திருப்பி திருப்பி அப்பப்போ வாசிக்கணும் சொல்லி வாசிக்கணுமா என்ன? It's meaningless. The குழந்தை போய் when his child is able to run fast, is it necessary to take that crawling வண்டி, அந்த மூடு கால் வண்டி இருக்கு இல்லையா சின்னது, அது பிடிச்சிக்கணுமா? எப்படி இருக்கும் 25-year-old boy catching hold to that? அது பின்ன ஆடியே போயிட்டு இருக்குன்னு அம்மா என்ன பண்ணுவா? அழுவா இல்லையா? என்னடா இப்படி பண்றேன்னா. அதே மாதிரி at the age of 70, 75 or 60, 65, a person is indulged in this manda bhakti, madhyama bhakti. Bhagavan என்ன சொல்லுவார் தெரியுமோ? பாவம் అని சொல்லுவார். பகவானுக்கு அந்த கண்டிஷன் வரக்கூடாது இல்லையா? அதனால என்ன பண்ணணும்னா, அர்ஜுனா லிசன் சொல்லி பகவான் சொல்ல போறார் பக்தி பத்தி. ஸோ கர்ம லக்ஷணா பக்தி, உபாசன லக்ஷணா பக்தி, ஞானி லக்ஷணா பக்தி நமக்கு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் இப்போ. ஓகே, ஞானி லக்ஷணா பக்தியில் என்ன சாதனம்? ஸ்ரவண மனன நிதித்தியாசனம். கர்ம லக்ஷணா பக்தியில் rituals, vratams, puja, all those things. Whole religious life is meant for active life, religious life. இப்போ சங்கராந்தி கொண்டாடிட்டோம் இல்லையா? 4 நாள் எப்போ ஒரே அமைக்கலாம். மெட்ராஸ், சென்னை என்ன ஹோல் தமிழ்நாடு. That is that whole thing. Let them have. People are active. For an active person, highly hyperactive person, let him continue the karma yoga. Once that person is tired of that, enough for me, I want to relax, retired, and not tired, but retired from karma yoga. Chonna, he can become introverted, he can take up japa, mananam, and avritti, mantra avritti, upasana, meditations, manasa puja, chittajam japa dhyanam uttamam, Ramana Maharshi says. Many people, Ramana Maharshi followers all say, who am I, only Ramana Maharshi said. Ashtamurti bhrit deva pujanam, adi solla maatra yarume. Ramana Maharshi pointed out this upasana bhakti. He has pointed out this ekarupa bhakti, vishwarupa bhakti. In Upadesha Sara it comes, Saddarshanam also it comes. But people, those who are what you can call selective amnesia, அந்த செலக்டிவ் amnesiaன்னா அவங்களுக்கு எது பிடிக்குமோ அதுதான் எடுப்பான். Even though they love Ramana Maharshi, they have devotion to Ramana Maharshi, they never look into that what he said really speaking. They take up only the simple method. What? Who am I? Who am I? And go on asking, who am I? Who am I? How do I know? I don't know. அப்பா நீயே பார்த்துக்கோன்னா நான் கண்ணு மொழின்னு உட்காருவா. இது எப்பவுமே சொல்லவே இல்லை ரமண மகர்ஷி. இதில் தப்பா இன்டர்பிரேட் பண்ணி தேர் ப்ராபகேட்டிங் இன் தட் மேனர். அஷ்டமூர்த்தி பிருத் தேவ பூஜனம், பஞ்சபூதங்கள் you have to worship. Surya, Chandra, all put together, Ashtamurtis. You have to worship them. Eka Rupa, Vishwarupa, you have to worship. Then come to Arupa Jnanam. Eka Rupa to Vishwarupa to Arupa, Karma to Upasana to Jnanam. So what? In the Mar step ella vandanna. PHS is yours. Permanent, Nityam, ever secure, never insecure. லைஃப் இன்சூரன்ஸ் கட்டினாலும் பாலிசி கட்டினாலும் என்ன இருந்தாலும் மெல்ட் டவுன் என்ன ஆகுமோ தெரியாது. மெல்டிங் டவுன் டவுன் என்ன இந்த மாதிரி அப்செட் வராது லைஃப்ல. திஸ் இஸ் வாட் பகவான் இஸ் எக்ஸ்பெக்டிங் ஃபார் எவ்ரி ஹியூமன் பீயிங். இஃப் யூ சே ஐ எம் ஆஸ்திகா, நாஸ்திகாஸ் விடுங்கோ. ஓகே, நாஸ்திகனுக்கு அவனுக்கு என்ன பகவான் பற்றி இல்லை, அவனை பற்றி நம்ம பேசுகிற போகிறது இல்லை. ஆஸ்திகாஸ்லன்னு மந்த பக்தி டு மத்தியம பக்தி டு உத்தம பக்தி வரதுக்காக தான் பகவத்கீதை படிக்கணும். புரியறதா? இப்போ வை பகவத்கீதா? டு ஸ்டடி, டு ஸ்டெபிலைஸ் மை பக்தி, டு இம்ப்ரூவ் மை பக்தி. ஐ வாண்ட் டு பிகம் எ ரியல் டிவோட்டி ஆஃப் த லார்ட், exactly what way Bhagavan wants. For that sake I have to study Bhagavad Gita. In பகவானுக்காக படிக்கிறோம். If I understand Bhagavan's Paraprakriti Swarupam, higher nature, என்ன பகவானுக்கு என்ன பெனிஃபிட்? போனஸ் வருமா? அவருக்கு என்ன? Bhagavan is not going to be benefited if I study Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan kept this Shruti, Smruti, Puranas all for our benefit only, for our purpose only, for our peace only, for our security only, for our happiness sake only. Once Bhagavan has given this treasure, is it not my responsibility, duty to know, find out, recognize, discover this treasure? Until I discover that Arupa Ishvara, that Jnanam, until I attain, I have not understood the Bhagavad Gita in Artham. 10 vaati kettana, 100 people I might have listened, 100 times I might have listened, whole Bhagavad Gita is my by-hearted, doesn't matter. It is nothing to do with my understanding. Until I get this knowledge, there is something I am missing from Bhagavad Gita. Until I get peace and happiness, security, until I own up this Jnanam, I have not understood Bhagavad Gita. Still there is something I have to understand. If I understand Bhagavad Gita, no more sorrow can remain in my heart. No more limitation can remain in my heart. If there is a limitation, there is a sorrow. I don't have sorrow, I don't have limitation. But not verbally seen. What is Ishvara? Are you have that knowledge? Are you having that knowledge? Who is Ishvara? What is his nature? No, I don't know. Then that means you do not know the Bhagavad Gita. You know what is your nature? That also I do not know. Then what? You do not know Bhagavad Gita. If you know Bhagavad Gita means only 2 things. I know who am I know who is Ishvara. And I know the relation between that Ishvara and me. This is the indication of that knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Until I get that knowledge, either I am 90-year-old, 80-year-old, I might have studied 100 times, nothing doing. I have to continue my study. முடியலையே சுவாமி, முடியலானாலும் கூட படிச்சுதான் ஆகணும். எந்த அளவுக்கு முடியுமோ அந்த அளவுக்கு படிக்க. Then Arjuna is going to ask, now, hey Krishna, tell me, Saguna Ishvara Bhakti is superior or Nirguna Ishvara Bhakti is superior? Arjuna's question begins, the chapter begins with that Arjuna's question. We will read that question first. अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ताये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तम् तेषां के योगवित्तमाः. In 4th chapter, Lord Krishna said, there Lord Krishna has given many yajnas. Dravya yajna, tapo yajna, dana yajna, ahara niyama yajna, indriya niyama yajna, mano niyama yajna. Like that, so many has given. Having given all those yajnas, Lord Krishna said in one sloka, Shreyan Dravya mayat yajnat jnana yajnam parantapa sarva karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. சொன்னார். All these yajnas are good, wonderful Arjuna, but ஞான யஜ்ஞம்னு ஒரு யஜ்ஞம் இருக்கு, that is the superior most yajnam. ஞான யஜ்ஞம் is superior most. Jnana yajnamna, not doing yagam, homam and all. Jnana yajna means what? Study of scriptures systematically from a teacher, from a competent teacher, consistently. Okay. Consistently, systematically study of Vedantic scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Prakarana Granthas, to be studied from a competent teacher for a length of time until I get clarity. This is called study. This is called Jnana Yajnam. Now what you are doing? Which Yajna now? 6:30 to 7:30? Jnana Yajna. Varati Guru Naledana? Throughout the day, after going home also, you just reflect upon my teaching, it is Jnana Yajna. You read your notes, it's a Jnana Yajna. You listen to a cassette, it is Jnana Yajna. என்ன நீ கோயிலுக்கு வர்றது இல்லை, பூஜை பண்றது இல்லை, எல்லாம் கேசட் போட்டுட்டே கேட்டுட்டே இருக்க, வீட்டில் சண்டை போடுவான். எனக்கு என்ன சுவாமி பைத்தியம், எப்பவுமே கேசட்டு ஒன்று கோயிலில் இல்லை, பூஜை இல்லை, ஒரு வரும், எல்லாம் வரமாட்டேன் கூட. ஆனால் எல்லா பீப்புள் அது demand at you. என்ன பண்றது? You cannot tell them I am doing Jnana Yoga. What is this Jnana Yoga? What you are doing? Always you are escaping now. They tell you, no? They argue with you, you are escaping, you are becoming so lazy. And they will tell. But very difficult to convince the people. You need not convince. You understand and remain in your practice. That's all. Now Arjuna is asking, which bhakti is superior? Saguna Ishvara Bhakti. 7th chapter, 9th chapter, you were talking about Saguna Ishvara. Ekarupa Ishvara, Upavasana pannu, Puja pannu, adikappuram Vishwarupama Pathinde iru, Vishwarupa Dhyanam pannu sonna. And there in 4th chapter you said Jnana Yajna is superior. You always, everything, wherever that comes in a superior, Bhagavan says. Now tell me, ஏதோ ஒரு superior சொல்லணும்னா. He is asking here, Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna asked, Tesham ke yoga vittamaha, Tesham, among them, Among them means among whom? Satatayuktaha bhaktaha ye paryupasate tvam. Whoever worship you all the time, paryupasate means who meditate upon you. Who are they? Bhaktaha, devotees, your devotees. Satatayuktaha, how they worship you? Ever steadfast, constantly. Satatam means all the time. Yuktaha means endowed with an integrated mind, pious mind, quality mind. Devoted to, with involvement, without any wavering mind. Unwavering in artham. Unwavering mind. Tesham. Who are other people? This is one type of people. Bhaktaha. Satata yuktaha paryupasate. And evam ye aksharam avyaktam paryupasate. And paryupasate you have to supply. Second line. Ye aksharam avyaktam api upasate. Tesham anartham. One group of people, Aksharam Brahma Upasate. In the second, 8th chapter, Bhagavan said, Aksharam Brahma. Then, 7th chapter, 9th chapter, also Bhagavan has discussed about this Aksharam, imperishable. Nature is my nature, Avyaktam. That nature is Aksharam, imperishable. That Aksharam, that is highest form of bhakti, also Bhagavan said. That aksharam paryupasatena. Eva means ekadasha adhyaya yukta prakarena. Ekadasha adhyaya evam anchunadya. Evam in this manner. In this manner means in which manner? As Vishwarupa. Described before, Ekarupa, Vishwarupa. And second chapter Bhagavan said, whoever understand what is that, I am masthani sarvabhutani nachamasthani bharata. Everything is in me only. Bhagavan said, that is Aksharam Brahma. Some people are worshipping Aksharam Brahma. Some people are worshipping Bhagavan, doing upasana in all-pervading form. Among these two people, who is superior? Bhaktaha satatayuktaha paryupasate, one group, who are committed to with steadfast mind, they devote and they meditate upon you. These people are meditating. Some people here are not meditating, but they are knowing. Knowing. Aksharam upasate anna, imperishable Brahman enna upasana panna mudiyum? Nirgunam Brahma. Akkada aksharam anna, avyaktam aksharam chonnale, you have to understand nirguna Ishvara. That indicates nirguna Ishvara, who is not subject to decline. That is called aksharam. Paryupasate is applied here, which Bhagavan is invisible. Avyaktam means invisible. Indriyaihi na abhivyajyate. Avyaktam. Avyaktam means what? Vyaktam anna visible. Visible to what? To sense organs. Avyaktam. Na vyaktam, avyaktam. Vyaktam anna visible. Avyaktam anna invisible. Invisible. So invisible, avyaktam. Vyaktam is visible to sense organs. Avyaktam is invisible to sense organs. Therefore, indriyaihi na vyajyate iti avyaktam. Yadi indriyangalukku apparpattado anartham. Indriyangalukku ettadadu anartham. You cannot comprehend with your sense organs. That is avyaktam. Aksharam Brahma, Nirgunam Brahma. Yenna avarku form kadiyadu. Yattad adresham, agrahim, agotram, avarnam, achakshushrotram. Tad apani, pada, kaalu kadiyadu, kannu kadiyadu. Sankha chakra gadadhari enga solla mudiyum? பீதாம்பரதாரி அது மேல சொல்ல முடியாது, உடம்பே இல்லையே. பாணி கிடையாது, பாதம் கிடையாது, பூ எங்க போடுறது? Some people are worshipping Aksharam Avyaktam Paryupasate. These people are worshipping Saguna Ishvara. இதுதான் நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். இங்க சகுண ஈஸ்வரான் people are worshipping. Some people are worshipping Nirguna Ishvara. Which one is superior? And Krishna Paramatma says, your question is wrong. Outright, no? Your question is wrong. And Anal Krishna Paramatma is going to answer in a very nice manner in the second shloka. We will read. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Maya Veshya Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetaha Te me yukta tamamataha. Saguna Ishvara Bhakti, Nirguna Ishvara Bhakti lo, which one is superior? And kita, you are not supposed to compare both of them. When can you compare and contrast? When the two things are similar, you can compare and contrast. When the two things are not similar, when two pens are there, which pen is nice? You can ask. Which one is nice? Which will write nicely? And you can ask. You cannot compare with the pen and book. Similarly, you cannot compare which program is nice. Padma Subramaniam program is nice or Sudha Raghunathan program is nice. Enna question kelvi idu? How can you compare dance program and vocal music program? And who is great, Sachin Tendulkar or Vishwanathan Anandan? How can you compare with both of them? One is a cricket player, another one is a chess player. You are not supposed to ask, is it not? If you ask, suppose, you know, because that person is very qualified, never ask. Nobody will ask like that. But why in this case people ask? Swamini, Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam Pandanuma. And the Nirguna one three matinga. Adi say, Idi Nallada, Adi Nallada. If the Mari Kelvi Keta, you are not asking with regarding to that sports, regarding music, because you have thorough knowledge about them. They are not the things to be compared and contrast. Here you do not know what is Saguna Ishvara, what is Nirguna Ishvara, you do not know. That's why you are comparing and contrasting and losing the whole thing. Kilograms and kilometers, how can you compare? How many kilograms from Mylapore to T Nagar? Enna kelvi idu? Kilograms nu sollakudadappa, kilometers nu sollanum anna. Adu madri Saguna Ishvara Bhakti is a means, Nirguna Ishvara Bhakti is an end. A means, two means can be compared, two ends can be compared. Okay? Two means can be, two sadhyams can be compared, two sadhanams can be compared, but one sadhanam, one sadhyam cannot be compared, cannot be contrasted. Here Saguna Ishvara Bhakti is a means, a sadhanam for Nirguna Ishvara Jnanam. This is a sadhanam. That is end. Therefore, Saguna Ishvara Bhakti is incomplete without Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. Nirguna Brahma Jnanam is impossible without the Saguna Ishvara Bhakti. Thirupi sollanuma? Saguna Ishvara Bhakti is incomplete without Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. It cannot be completed. As long as you live, you do, you are incomplete Bhakta only. When can I become complete? Na? You have to come to Gita class. Na? The culmination. That is called Nirguna Ishvara Jnana. நிர்குண ஈஸ்வர ஞானம் சரி வந்துடுமா தானாவே ஸ்ட்ரைட் அண்ணா வராது. என்ன பண்ணணும்? ஏகரூப விஸ்வரூப தியானம் பண்ணிட்டு வா, பூஜை பண்ணிட்டு வா, சித்த சுத்தி அடையணும். இட் இஸ் இம்பாசிபிள் வித்தவுட் திஸ் பக்தி. Therefore, what is important? Both are important. One is important as a means, another is important as a end. Therefore, what? Come to the next class. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.